I was originally making a video talking about Conqueror's Haki, and then I saw some discourse on Twitter, so I decided to do a 180 from that video, and that will probably drop next week. I made a video about this topic around a year ago whenever it dropped in chapter 1047. When this scene got animated, I knew that this debate would be brought up by the community once again, and it happened in the interaction between Luffy and Kaido when they were fighting in episode 1074. Kaido, he made a statement talking about Haki, which divided the community, and on Twitter I've seen different individuals within the One Piece community talk about this statement. King of Lightning, BDA Law, and other content creators have been going back and forth with different individuals on whether or not Kaido's statement is true. I want to talk about that as well and give my thoughts on this statement. But if you guys enjoy regular anime content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. With that away, my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's talk about whether or not Kaido's statement is true, and does Haki transcend all. So what statement am I referring to? This is in chapter 1047 and in episode 1074. I find it cool how the number 74 are just swapped in these chapters and episodes, that they correlate, but nevertheless I'm going to read word from word from the manga what Kaido said, and the anime's fine. I just would rather read the source material, something that Oda wrote himself. While Kaido and Luffy were fighting, he said, "Abilities alone cannot conquer the world. The world is convenient that way. Roger didn't have any fruit powers because only Haki can transcend all." What does this statement mean? In essence, Kaido is claiming that devil fruit abilities alone won't allow you to conquer the world, which Roger proved. In order to be successful, you have to have Haki. Is this statement true? I'll say yes with an asterisk, and I'll explain why a little bit later in this video. I do think that we give Kaido and other top tiers a little bit too much credit. I think that they can provide some, not all information, and we have to take whatever they say with a grain of salt. Kaido can provide some insight on strength and the One Piece world, but he's limited to what he's experienced. Not everything he says is law. This is the same for other characters in the series as well who have massive influence. Shanks, Doflamingo, and even Rayleigh, who is someone who was with Roger and experienced everything that he went to on his journey to becoming the Pirate King. He has some of the most knowledge in this series, but even them can at the end of the day be wrong. So all we can do is use their statements as references, and we have to be careful on what we consider to be the truth. Also, Kaido mentioned Roger here, but he doesn't know everything that he went through on his journey to becoming the Pirate King. He's making this assumption purely based off of the perception that he has of him. He's only had, or would have only had, a few interactions with him when he was on the Rocks Pirates, and this Kaido would have been really freaking young and would not be as mature as he is now. Roger's strength isn't 100% of the reason why he was able to successfully conquer the sea and become the Pirate King. His crew strength, that plays a factor. Rayleigh, Gabon, and others. They also had Odin on his crew who could read the poneglyphs. There was some luck and other factors that were involved to why Roger achieved such success. I do agree that having a devil fruit in the One Piece world, at least exclusively, can only take you so far, especially if you want to be a pirate on the level of a Yonko, and I'd argue even to the point of being as strong as some of their commanders and warlords of the sea. This was proven in Luffy's decision with 3D2Y. These Straw Hats, they could only get so far into the Grand Line because of not having Haki, and overall strength, that's important too, because some of the members, even after the post time skip, still can't use Haki, but Haki was a big part of at least the monster trio. For the strong combatants in the Straw Hat, they needed that in order to advance. Without Haki, you couldn't have competed against Logan, which is why they were so broken pre-time skip. And the reason why Wano is so focused on Haki is because in order for Luffy to reach that upper echelon of strength, in order to become a great pirate, he had to achieve real, had to achieve advanced conquerors in order to go against top tier individuals with no worry. And the same with Zoro. In order for him to become a master swordsman, to be on the level of people like Mihawk, like Shanks, Rayleigh, and Odin, he has to achieve better Haki, which will in turn boost his swordsmanship. I mentioned that Kaido's statement had an asterisk behind it, because I do think nobody's going to complain if someone has a strong devil fruit. Look at Luffy, Law, and Blackbeard. They are prime examples of individuals who have broken devil fruit. Blackbeard, his devil fruit, the Yami Yami no Mi, allows him to negate the abilities of other devil fruits. Law, you could say his is honestly might be the most broken because it allows him to create an operating room, and he could probably use 5 at the minimum other characters' devil fruits with his open no Mi. And then lastly, Luffy, his devil fruit allows him to do whatever he wants as long as his imagination isn't limited. Also, let's not forget all the accomplishments that Luffy achieved pre-time skip. It was because of his devil fruit. And then Law and Kid, and granted they used Haki, but mainly because of their devil fruit awakenings, they were able to defeat Big Mom, who has advanced conquerors and is considered one of the very strongest. There are some limitations that Haki users have. There are some individuals who can't obtain certain Haki. Some of them aren't able to get armament, observation, even conquerors, and there are some individuals who can't get the advanced versions of that. And I think a great example of this, of someone who's strong, is Sanji. This has nothing to do with goals. Sanji will never be able to compete with Luffy and Zoro, end of series. And why is this? It's because he doesn't have Conqueror's Haki. We've seen how strong advanced conquerors make someone. Look at Shanks, look at Kaido, Zoro, and Luffy, Yamato, and it's probably going to be a lot more as the series goes on. And that makes Sanji someone with limitations. Now, Oda, he does compensate for this. We've seen Sanji unlock his Germa abilities, Diaba Jamba, Ifrit Jamba, and he'll possibly get Black Flames in the future. Now, I'm a firm believer that Sanji will get Future Sight and Advanced Armament. And obviously, if he does get Conquerors, which I don't think he will, but it's still a possibility, then this limitation goes out the window. But for right now, it's still a possibility. To make up for the lack of Haki, Oda, he narratively writes ways for characters to be able to compete. Look at King. He is a Lunaran. He has incredible durability, and he was able to keep up with Zoro even after he learned Advanced Conqueror. Does Haki truly transcend all? I think the answer is yes, because there have been way more successful Marines and successful pirates that have made their way through the pirate and the Marine world, and even in the Grand Line, than somebody who doesn't have the ability to use Haki. If I had to rank the order of what is the best method for a power system in One Piece, I would say a user that has both a devil fruit and can use Haki. For example, the Admirals and the Yonko. And I want to give a shout out to Katakuri here, because yes, he has a special paramecia, but him using Future Sight in tandem with his devil fruit is what makes it so special. Then I would probably rank it to those that can only use Haki, and you typically see this with fishmen and swordsmen. I want to give a shout out to Shanks, Mihawk, and Zoro. I think those are individuals that have proven that with only Haki, you could make it pretty far and be successful in the Grand Line. And then lastly, I'd say someone who strictly has a devil fruit. I'm going to say Alabasta Crocodile. It's really hard to rank where he would be at Marineford because he had a lot of crazy feats. And even now at this point in the story with cross skills, I don't really know if he can utilize Haki or not. And then I want to say Enel, and yes, I know that he could use observation Haki, but he couldn't use armament, and so Luffy was able to easily defeat him. But Haki's not the end all be all. There has been time and time again with different individuals who just have a devil fruit have been successful. I just personally think that strictly just having a devil fruit has its limitations. But let me know how you guys felt about Kaido's statement about Haki transcending all. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree with it? In the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen and the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.